Hello, I'm Zahra. Today I'm going to be talking about wellness. So what are these key aspects that once you focus on, you're actually well on your way to a good quality of life? Number one is movement. General day-to-day movement is not included in this. I'm talking about intentional mobility. And when you're engaged in these mobility exercises, everyday movement doesn't feel such a drag and doesn't feel so hard to do. So these movements could be exercise, walking, running, sprinting, swimming. Even if you're intentionally dancing, that is also part of the movement. The second principle of wellness involves nutrition. I am extremely passionate about nutrition. Nutrition is the fuel that you put into your body. Nutrition is what you consume to make this biological machine work its best. Now, when you put diesel in a petrol car, you can't expect it to work efficiently. Same goes for the human body. When it comes to nutrition, a species-appropriate diet is the best form of nutrition you could be putting in your body. Nutrition doesn't just include food. It includes drinks as well. For example, alcohol doesn't fuel your body. It's actually taking stuff away from your body. It is putting extra stress on your body. It's leaching essential nutrients, minerals, and hydration from your body and leaving it more depleted rather than nourished. When it comes to carbohydrates, they're not the most efficient fuel for our body. Yes, the body does use glucose as part of its fuel source, but the body's amazing at making its own glucose from protein. When it comes to essential nutrients, fats and protein reign supreme. So when you're thinking about nutrition, always try to focus on healthy fats and a sufficient amount of protein to not only fuel your body, but also to make new muscles and tissues and cells. The third aspect of wellness involves recovery. Now, recovery is something I'm sure most of us don't really focus on, but probably know what it is. Sleep is one form of recovery. Not only good quality, but also good quantity. That is going to help you recover physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. There are also certain other aspects of recovery. For example, after a workout, when you're stretching, that's a form of recovery. Meditating, that's recovery for the mind. Another form of recovery that we might have heard of are saunas and cold baths. Now, those are probably not everyone's favorite, especially the ice bath. It can be quite a shock to the system. But that form of recovery utilizes a specific response through the process of hormesis. So it's a hermetic response. Hormesis basically means when it comes to the dosage of something, when it's in a smaller dose, you will receive a beneficial effect. And after it crosses that threshold, it starts to go into a detrimental effect. Exercise is also using this hormesis principle. Exercise is great for us, but it is possible to over-exercise. If we are running for hours and hours at a time every day, that is taking the hormetic response and taking it past that threshold and increasing the dosage so much of this beneficial thing, turning it into a detrimental thing. Then you start getting things like muscle loss and fatigue and excessive hunger, and your body isn't able to recover fast enough. For the same reason, it's also recommended to only do strength training about 2 to 3 times a week and take adequate breaks in between for recovery. This recovery is the time that your body is actively building muscle. This is why when we're trying to move forward, we have to make sure to take time for recovery. A key aspect of wellness is the mindset. Mindset is so important, not just to keep us motivated and committed to our goals and keep us focused. Mindset allows us to live in a state, an emotional state, a physical state of the body in which optimal health is prioritized. Let's just take this one example. Let's say you've been struggling a lot with your goals lately and you start to feel discouraged. So your mindset slips into a victim mindset in which you start to think that I'm not built for this, I'm not ready for this, I'm failing at this, I'm not good enough. That mindset starts to almost fuel your behavior, and then next time when it comes to do things and put effort in, you've already decided that it's not worth it because that's just not who you are, and that mindset starts holding you back. Mindset allows us to create goals for ourselves, envision a better future for ourselves. The fifth and final aspect of wellness involves emotion. Emotional mastery is not something that we're born with. Being able to regulate your own emotions is something that needs to be practiced, and it requires skills and tools. Children, for example, do not have emotional mastery. That's why you see them overwhelmed and taken over by their emotions, and they need help to self-regulate. Sometimes, even as adults, we need these skills to be able to self-regulate. Maybe we didn't get a chance to learn it in childhood, or maybe we're just deeply emotional creatures, and so we find it a bit hard to control our emotions. So now we know a little bit about the aspects of wellness. How would you rate yourself on all those? How's your movement? Are you engaging in intentional, regular movement every day? Are you consciously paying attention to your nutrition and what you're consuming, whether that be food or drinks? Do you have recovery practices that you engage in every day? How's your sleep? Are you actively stretching after workouts? This is something that I struggle with. After I finish a workout, I struggle to do any stretches or do any cool down exercises. Do you pay attention to your mindset? Is that something that you need to be more conscious of? Maybe you need to be a bit more intentional and not just be running on autopilot. And lastly, how are you at self-regulating your emotions? 0 being like a child, 10 being like a monk. I really hope that after knowing all these different aspects of wellness, you're able to focus your attention on the important things in life. Just get the basics right and you'll be well on your way to wellness. I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, stay well.